Hello everyone, my name is Jiayue and I'm doing a master degree in Chinese translation and interpreting in the University of Queensland. And today my topic is translation strategies of culture-specific words, a case study of selected poems of Bai Zhiyi. So I will introduce John Dryden's theory of three types of translation and analyze this theory using the examples from the poems of Bai Zhiyi. So let's start with Dryden's theory of three types of translation. The distinction between literal and free translation goes back 2,000 years and has been the basis of important works on translation. John Dryden reduced all translation to three categories. The first one is metaphrase. It's a word-by-word and line-by-line translation, and it is similar to the literal translation. And the second type is paraphrase. It's a translation with a certain degree of freedom, in which the translator aims at the author's intention, but the translation is not bound to a strict linguistic correspondence. It is similar to the free translation or sense-for-sense translation. And the third type is imitation. It's an abandonment of words and meaning, and this corresponds to the theory of very free translation and is more or less similar to today's adaptation. We can see from the diagram below that free translation is in between of literal translation and adaptation, which means that it is more flexible than the literal translation. However, it is less creative than the adaptation. So Dryden criticizes that literal translation is a rigid mode of translation, like dancing with shackles. It's a foolish task. However, he also rejects imitation, where translators speculate from their own experience on how the author would have written in the translator's time and country, and this is disrespectful to the reputation and will of the deceased author. So, as a result, Dryden suggests that it is appropriate to grasp the translation between two extremes of literal translation and paraphrase, to stay as close as possible to the author and avoid losing the literal quality of the original, especially without losing the beauty of the wording. And the target text is separated from the original, but target text and source text are inherently different. Translation not only shows the relationship between languages, it also teaches translators and readers about the culture of the source text and target text. We can see the application of Dryden's theory in the following example. 人间四月芳菲尽，山寺桃花始盛开. All flowers in late spring have fallen far and wide, but peach blossoms are full bloom on the mountainside. In the original text, 人间 refers to the village at the foot of Mountain Lushan, and 四月 is not actually April, but the first month of the lunar calendar. So obviously, these words are culture-specific words, and it might be challenging for foreign readers to understand. So the translator does not rigidly explain and label each of these words, but extracts the author's intended meaning, describing the scene in which various flowers have bloomed to the point of fading in the late spring. 山寺 in this sentence refers to Daling Si. However, the name of the temple is not the focus of the poem. What the author wants to present is the beauty of peach blossoms in full bloom. So it seems unnecessary to point out and describe the temple in detail. So in this case, the translator omits the description of the temple, and instead he focuses on the label late blooming peach blossoms. So to conclude, theory from John Dryden is valuable educational and practical, and this theory aims to help translators bring their subjective initiative into play and produce high-quality translations while preserving the meaning of the original text. We should learn and understand and learn from the theory that's put forward by the pioneer and summarize our own experience, use the theory in the translating process, and finally improve the quality of our own translation work. And this is the references. Thank you for listening.